Hi guys, I'm testing this new improvised camera setting to show you what I have been reading besides Sandman. And in between every volume of that series, I've been reading something else, just so I don't get sick and tired of it. And one of the reads was this Richard Stark Parker, The Hunter, by the late Darwin Cooke. And I enjoyed this very, very much. Darwin Cooke gets a bit experimental here, working with photography also, like I think it's the case here. And there's the initial silent scene, which we follow through the eyes of the main character, Parker, and which culminates in him looking at himself at the mirror, and that's the first time we see the face of the character, and this is very nicely done. And this is basically a crime noir revenge story, and Darwin Cooke plays a lot with shadows throughout the book. And Parker is hunting this guy who betrayed him in the past. And there's a magnificent scene in which Parker finally finds him, and Darwin Cooke makes it so dramatic. Here it is. Look at this. The shadows. This head shadow from Parker, making him look almost like a demon. And for that shadow to be cast up there, the light source would have to be down here and very, very close to the window or to the wall. And that's not the case. But obviously it's not that Darwin Cooke doesn't know about lighting and shadows. It's all to increase the dramatic effect of the scene. The shadows and those big curtains, and also the other guy's shadows on the curtains, in a desperate style. I really dig this. And in the final scenes, there's a lot of long shadows when Parker is at an old railroad station or railway station, and kind of trying to pass unnoticed, but there's all these huge shadows cast in the ground like this. A very small figure, but a very long shadow. Very nice book. And then I also read Harrow County, Volume 2 by Cullen Bunn and Tyler Crook. And for me, it is Tyler Crook's art that sells the book. Not that Cullen Bunn has not created a nice world and a nice story, and I quite like the rural setting of it, but it is Tyler Crook's beautiful watercolors that sell this book to me. I really, really enjoy his style. Although this volume is a bit of a cliche. It's the evil twin who shows up, and the good twin is opposing her, and yeah, but still, I find this very, very entertaining, and I'm always looking forward to a next volume. And another good read, Outcast by Kirkman and Azaceta, Volume 2, and with the colors from the magnificent Elizabeth Breitweiser. I really like how Breitweiser uses these big blocks of color, pink and yellow, and there's really something special about her. That little brighter spot on top of his head, it almost makes you feel the raindrops falling in there. Really nice. And I am not watching the TV series. I don't watch much TV anymore. And indeed, this has the pacing of a TV series. It has that feeling, and I find it a bit too slow. And I also enjoy how Breitweiser uses this digital pasting to portray patterns in clothing, especially. But yeah, it's basically the art and the color who entice me to buy this book. And there's this scene. This is very well done. The art here is just beautiful. The main character is meeting his ex-wife, and they're having a difficult and emotional conversation, and this is so well done. Really well done by Azaceta. So yeah, Outcast. I'm enjoying it. And then I was not having enough Neil Gaiman with Sandman, and I got How to Talk to Girls at Parties, which is an adaptation from a Neil Gaiman short story by the Brazilian twins, Fabio Moon and Gabriel Bá. And the art here is, I believe, by Fabio Moon, and it is very, very beautiful, very colorful, but I don't know what to think of this book. The writing is also very beautiful. Some dialogues especially are magnificent, but the story, I just don't know. It ends in a very dubious way. You don't really understand or cannot be sure of what happened, and you are not sure either of what's going on throughout the entire story. I just cannot recommend this to anyone except for the art. And I'm sure many people really enjoyed this book, but not me. Not at all. It made me feel like it was a case of, let's put these famous names together, working together, or putting the twins adapting something by Neil Gaiman, and we will sell 1 million of these. And I indeed bought it, but if I could go back in time, I would not. And finally, what I am reading at the moment, this is by Jean-Pierre Dionnet with art by Jean-Claude Gall. And this is also edited in English, or published in English by Humanoids under the title Armies. And Jean-Claude Gal's art is very detailed, very time consuming for sure, very beautiful. This is from the very late 70s and early 80s. It's basically an heroic fantasy kind of story, although it is made of several short stories with 8-12 pages each. And they all end up in a very, very dark way. But I'm enjoying it. And indeed, there are some beautiful pages, full of details. Although Gal was not the best at portraying movement. The characters sometimes lack a bit of dynamism, but still, this is a very beautiful book. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.